Alright, you poor buggers have to see my face on YouTube for a while because about a month ago, a fellow called Lord Immolation put up a video talking about pantheism and just more or less asking why it isn't atheism. He asked why we call the universe God for a good reason, not just to simply confuse the hell out of people. I am a pantheist. I can't really speak for all pantheists, but I have a pretty good idea how to answer this query of his. I should tell you guys right off the bat that I am a classical pantheist. Most pantheists you'll talk to and hear about are what's called a naturalistic pantheist or a scientific pantheist. I differ from them just because I believe that God is the universe, but He is also sentient. That sounds really bloody weird. A lot of people ask me when I walk, does it hurt the ground? If I poke the cat, is the universe going to get pissed off at me? No. When I say sentient, I simply mean that it is intelligent. It's not chaotic, basically. There is a reason I believe this beyond just the dogma you see from most theists. Because there are things in the universe that just cannot be explained by conventional science, at least not thus far. For the longest time, quantum physicists all over the world have been puzzling over why mathematical constants are the way they are. Things like pi, which is used to measure different aspects of a circle, or the strength of the what's called strong forces, which hold together subatomic particles in an atom. That sounds kind of stupid to ask why those things are the way they are. You know, they just are because that's how the universe works. Well, no, it's not really. It's difficult to explain, but it doesn't work that way, because these constants were generated. They did not exist prior to the universe's existence, and were generated chaotically the same way the Big Bang was generated, because inside the singularity, which is the point where the Big Bang started from, there is no physics, there's no matter, there's no energy, there's nothing. It's just everything smashed together in one tiny little point. It's called singularity. And when that singularity collapsed in on itself, creating a Big Bang, those constants were randomly generated, supposedly. And we just have different physics. And I guess that's what you think is, well, wouldn't we just have different physics? We'd have some stranger circles. And but no, it wouldn't work that way. If pi was just a tiny fraction off of what it is now, or if these strong forces were just a bit weaker or a bit stronger than they actually are, matter could not exist. The universe basically wouldn't exist. And to have these be perfect, the chances of these constants being absolutely perfect so that the universe can exist is almost infinitely tiny if it's randomly generated, which science says it is. Furthermore, we're beginning to believe that the universe we currently see is eternal. There's two different forces that are acting on one another to either slow down or speed up the expansion of the universe, and it looks like the universe is actually speeding up in its expansion. We're seeing less and less evidence for what's called the Big Crunch. And so that would basically say that the universe is eternal, that it doesn't have a whole load of trials to try this out, to try and get these perfect constants. There's only one chance to get these constants. And so a lot of the scientists are thinking that maybe there's something behind the generation of these constants that's making them perfect, something intelligent that is making sure that things wind up perfectly and that everything adds up. A second issue is life. For the longest time, non-theists, I'm not going to say atheists because not all non-theists are atheists, as stupid as it sounds, even though atheism literally means not theism. Non-theists have figured that life spontaneously generating, given the right conditions, is how life first came about. However, we have tried to recreate these conditions, conditions where life supposedly sprang up in early Earth, and we have found nothing but proteins. They've all failed. We have not seen life spontaneously generate. we're starting to believe that life just simply can't spring up from abiotic matter. So we're thinking that there might be something a bit more complex behind it, some external source producing this life, rather than just lumps of carbon compounds bundling together and creating us so we can ruin our parents' lives. Anyway, that's my take on things. That's why I'm a pantheist. But there are other people who just don't see pantheism that way. So I would try and speak for them and say that it's simply for the direction. They often forget that the point of theism is not to explain away science or to defy evolution or say that the Earth is only 6,000 years old and to do other stupid things like that, but is to give people direction, a bit of guidance, a bit of something to define themselves with. It's to solidify morality, and not only that, but to ensure that there's always something greater than man to keep us humble. Really, we're all like children with the laws of the universe as our parents. We're subservient to them. We rely on them. We hate them for the rules that they impose on us. But where would children be if they didn't look up to their parents? They wouldn't realize that they're just little specks. They must prove themselves in order to get some respect. They'd be snobbish. They'd think that everyone else owes them something. They wouldn't have too much to aspire to because they already think they're at the top of the metaphorical food chain. They wouldn't respect those who are their lesser because they've never had the opportunity to have been shown that respect. And what pantheism does is it gives humanity that sort of parent, without getting all up in science's face and saying that the world is only 6,000 years old. Additionally, pantheism just kind of gives existence more beauty, and that sounds really shallow, but if we're just walking bundles of carbon compounds and the Earth is just a lump of matter spewed out of a supernova, and our sun is just a giant fusion reactor that'll all end up burning out in a few billion years and turning us all into cosmic dust, there's no beauty in that. It's just cold, and while some may be perfectly fine seeing things that way, others will seek out to find some sort of meaning, and that'll often be in religion. Well, how can I see this now? I don't know. We can talk a bit about morality, I suppose. If you are God, and I am God, and that forest over there is God, and my cat Queen Maiev back there is God, that adds a little more unity to things. It enhances the strength of empathy, and that's where all morality comes from. So it kind of gives people that sort of morality without, getting all preachy about it, having some sort of 10 commandments, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. As for the confusion of calling something God if it's not some giant bearded face peering down from the clouds and ruling your life, well, that's just a sort of a problem with the thing. It's the closest term of existence by the time Spinoza's the one who sort of solidified pantheism. Making up new words is for people like Dr. Seuss and Shakespeare. We just took the word God because it was the closest thing we could come to a sort of omnipotent force that, even if it exists as the universe, it's still an omnipotent force that is clearly superior to man. Or I guess equal to man, but superior in that it encompasses man and everything else surrounding man. It's not that difficult of a stretch when you think about it. Tons of religions have said all sorts of different things about God and gods all through the millennia. It's not really that an earth-shaking a concept. Anyway, I'm almost out of time here, and I think I've eaten enough of yours. Thanks for watching and listening, and thank you to Lord Immolation for the chat. I will see you all around the internet.